Alright guys, welcome back to the Adam Show. I just wanted to give you an update on where I was at with my Necrons. So, after a big weekend of battling with my Imperial Guard, I've decided to come and put them back in their case and then whip these guys out and just do a little bit more work on them. So, I've added 2 new units to the army today. So, this was the same list as part last time that I used in the battle report, minus I had a ctan in the list. Now I've dropped the ctan and I've added in a 10-man unit of deathmarks, which I've just painted up today, and a catacomb command barge, which I've done some work on. So I painted up a 10-man unit of these just to give me some more anti-infantry firepower and character hunting. I thought a 10-man unit sounded about right, just to make sure you get some of those 6s to get some mortal wounds on things. I'm going to be taking him as the Mephrit Dynasty. Well, I've always taken him as the Mephrit Dynasty this edition. So, you know, they'll be deep striking in, they'll be in rapid fire range, I'll get AP1 and they'll get the mortal wounds. So hopefully that'll be pretty effective. Never used them before, so I've just finished painting them up and I'll just add them in there, see how they go. Hopefully, you know, these guys teleporting across the field and then these guys coming down in support with some firepower puts some pressure up in the front grills of the enemy and allows my troops choices back here to take less shooting. I've still kept these 3 5-man units. I think it's sufficient enough for the way I play. So, Triax Stalkers stayed in. 2 Annihilation Barges. Those Annihilation Barges have been absolutely brilliant in the games I've been playing. I'm going to add a 3rd one in. But first I wanted to give this a try. So what I've done here is... This comes off. So this is just my normal Lord that I painted up and was leading the army normally. He's already been based and stuff. So what I actually had to do... There's a bit of modifications. As you can see, if I turn this sideways, I've actually sawn this here and brought this bit back. If you look at one of the other models, it comes much further forward. But just to make my life easier, shot. Sorry about that. Just to make my life easier, yeah, I've just flattened this out and given it the energy look. I've gone with the Tulsa gun to keep it cheap, because I'm running Mephrit, so it's going to be AP1 up close and, you know, he's getting those extra shots. The Lord's armed as he is. You know, I can take it as, well, their staffs all look pretty similar and this one's one, you know, use it as what you want to use it as. So he just kind of slides in there, sits on his catacomb command barge. That way, you know, if I want to use him on foot, I use him on foot. If I don't want to use him on foot, I'll put him in his command barge. I like the idea of it. The other thing that I'm working on in the army, now this one's actually out of my tower force, but the bases, so I'm a big fan of doing bases for my models and making them look that little extra bit fancier. This makes the model sit up a little bit higher and some people are like, oh, you know, you don't get as much cover and da-de-da-de-da. Rule of cool, people. Always go rule of cool. Don't, you know, model your models to try and get a cheap advantage on your opponent. Model your models to look cool. You know, the game's the game. So, that's been added in. As you can see, it raises him up a bit higher compared to these normal other little bases, but the 3 of them will be on that. That'll just give him that more imposing, hovering look, zooming across the battlefield. Obviously, I'll still give him the Veil of Darkness, so he'll still teleport across the battlefield with this unit. It just means that now he's in the barge and he's got a bit more mobility. I'm probably just going to give him the War Scythe, so it's cheap, because I'll probably give him the, I think it's the Void Reaper, maybe it's called. But it's a second relic close combat weapon. Or I may give him the one that's the Staff of Light. I still haven't decided, depending on the army, whether I want him to be more shooty with a little bit of choppy or a little bit shooty with more choppy. Anyway, they're the 2 new units I've added into the list. So this brings me back up to 1,500 points by removing that big guy and putting another 10-man unit and putting him on a command barge. I'll just see how it goes. And after I've had a few battle reports, I may change it up again. I've bought myself some tomb blades So depending on how these guys go, they might get the boot and then replaced with a 6-man unit of Tomb Blades or something like that. The army already has enough speed, but I do like the idea of Tomb Blades as well, especially with Mafret getting in and using their Gorse cannons. Alright guys, so just a quick update on the army, some changes, and once I've had a battle report with it, I'll get back to you, reassess and discuss how it went. If you've got any ideas on what you'd add to this Necron army or take away, I'm open to any ideas. If you like what I'm putting up, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy your evening. See you later guys.